Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today on Lips by Jonalynn. I'm Jonalynn. Today I wanted to just show you some quick stretches that you could do. Some of them you could do maybe a week after surgery, and then the other ones you might have to wait because some of them do involve crossing your midline. So you may need a couple of things before you do these stretches. One of them is something that will give you a little bit of flexibility, like a tie or maybe a robe tie. I'm actually going to be using a robe tie, and a pillow or a towel that's been folded up a little bit, but just something that will give you a little bit of height. So let's get started. So for the first exercise, you're just going to take your flexibility aid and you're going to kind of loop it around the middle-ish of your foot, and you can keep your opposite leg bent for this one if you have any kind of back issues, or you can put it straight. I'm actually going to put it straight because I don't have any back problems. And you're just going to come down. So to begin with, you can just take and bend your knee, and eventually you're going to work towards going straight, like this. And just kind of taking the leg to you, but nothing extreme if your body is not ready. Okay, and then once you feel a good stretch, you're going to come down and come back up. Just going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so when you feel a good stretch on the other side and you feel satisfied, then go ahead and bring your other leg down. Gently. Okay. For your next stretch, you are not necessarily going to need your stretching aid, but if you have very little range of motion, then go ahead and, use it. So we're just going to take our leg and bend it, and I'm going to pick it up, and then we're just going to grab around the back of the leg. And then we're just going to keep our knee bent and bring the knee to the chest as much as you can without overdoing it, of course. I feel like it's best to flex the toes of the opposite leg that's on the floor. It just feels more stable to me to do that. Okay, now I'm going to bring my leg down again. Alright, and we're just going to repeat it on the other side. Okay, going to bring the other leg down now. This next stretch is a little bit more advanced, and it does involve crossing your midline, so if you are not ready for that, then just skip this one for now, but otherwise go ahead and follow along with me. So you're going to bend your knee again, and you're actually going to take and cross it over and kind of try to meet in your, well, you're obviously not going to, but sort of like you're trying to meet your shoulder on the opposite side. And we are not doing supine twists, so just keep everything kind of straight. you should feel a stretch in your glutes for this one. Okay, I'm going to come out of this. Alright, and I'm going to do on the other side. Should feel a stretch across your glutes on this side as well, of course. Alright, I'm going to come out on this side as well. Okay, the next stretch is definitely an advanced one, so you're going to need your flexibility aid, and I'm actually going to come up for this one first. So once again, you're going to loop it around your foot, and going to take your leg and, I mean, if you have to bend your knee a little bit, then go ahead and do that, but otherwise you can just keep a straight leg, and you're just going to take it like I'm doing here and pull it to the side. You'll probably really feel this down the side, the outer part of your leg here, because that's kind of what it's meant to stretch. Okay, we'll come back to center. Alright, and just take it to the other side again. Okay. Hopefully you felt a nice stretch down the outside of your thigh. Right. For your next stretch, you're going to need either your pillow or your towel. I mean, you don't have to use anything, but this will give you a little bit of extra height. So I'm going to go ahead and use my towel here. And just going to come down and take your one leg and make it straight, and then the leg that you want to stretch, you just put it here so it has a nice cushion. And you just breathe into the stretch. Alright. And then, you may not be able to see as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Gently come out of that. Alright, for your final stretch, you are going to need your flexibility aid again. So, just going to take and tie it around our ankle. And then, so you're just going to take, like I'm doing here, and pull your leg kind of to your butt, at least in that direction. You should feel a stretch down the front of your quad, basically. And even I can feel that, and I've been doing this stuff for a while. Alright, I'm gonna call it good. And I'm gonna switch legs. And I should have done this before, but I'm going to go ahead and just lay this way so you can see the other side. Alright. Alright, gonna come out of that. So that was your final stretch, and I hope that you were able to at least somewhat get into these stretches, because I know some of them might have been a little bit challenging, and some of them you might have to just wait on and do them, at a later time, and that's perfectly okay. I recommend going through and doing these stretches more than once a day just to help speed up the recovery process and increase the flexibility and reduce the stiffness and the soreness that you're most likely experiencing if you've had surgery recently. Please like and subscribe, because that way you'll be notified immediately whenever I do put out a new video, and then you can just, do it right then. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!